The holographic screens over Geneva Orbital Command flickered to life without warning. Every conversation died. Fingers froze above consoles. Even the hum of ventilation felt too loud. A towering alien figure materialized on the main screen, skin metallic blue, eyes like polished obsidian. High Chancellor Vorex of the Galactic Council. His voice rumbled like thunder filtered through static. "Humans, you have 6 hours to surrender your sovereignty. Refuse and your species will be erased." Commander Elias Ward didn't flinch. He had spent a decade preparing for the moment everyone else prayed would never arrive. Behind him, war room personnel traded anxious glances. A few whispered the word as if saying it louder made it more real. War. Vorex leaned forward, lips curling in disdain. "Submit peacefully. You are unpredictable, volatile, emotional. We are offering mercy." Elias rested both hands on the steel railing. Calm, controlled, calculating. "Mercy isn't what this is," he murmured. To his right, Dr. Rhea Kessler, xenolinguist and cultural specialist, swallowed hard. Her breath fogged the glass tablet she held. "They've never issued a threat on a public channel before. They want fear." "And headlines," Elias replied. "They want to show other species what happens when someone refuses them." The comms officer snapped to attention. "Sir, this broadcast is going to every city. New Shanghai, Lagos, Mumbai, the Luna colonies." Vorex wasn't done. "You have 6 hours to comply. Make the rational choice." The hologram vanished. Silence crashed into the room like a wave. Admiral Song broke it. "Elias, we strike now. Launch the railgun network." "We cannot let them dictate terms," Rhea shook her head. "Reacting immediately only proves their point. Humans act from emotion, not logic." Song scoffed. "Emotion built our defenses. Logic justifies hesitation." Elias lifted a hand. "Enough!" He studied the strategic display. 700 alien battleships forming a perimeter around Earth's outer territory. The Council had always operated through intimidation, but gathering this much military muscle, something was different. "They don't want surrender," he realized. "They want an example," Rhea turned to him. "Meaning?" "They want to stage a purge." "Humanity rises too fast, innovates too quickly. We don't stay where we're put," a tech specialist called out, voice tight. "Sir, encrypted transmission detected. Origin matches Council diplomatic frequencies." Rhea hurried to her console, fingers flying across keys. Code shifted into readable script. Her eyes widened. "Elias, this isn't a 6-hour deadline. What is it?" "They're launching in 90 minutes. The room erupted. Song slammed his fist on the table. "They lied on an open broadcast, buying time to position their fleet." "They want us to run," someone whispered. "No," Elias corrected quietly. "They want us terrified." He scanned the display again, tracing their formation. Council ships moved with machine-like precision. Perfect arcs, predictable spacing, symmetrical tactical positioning. Predictable. Humans didn't do predictable. Elias tapped the digital holomap, zooming into a sector of space far beyond Pluto. A dozen invisible icons shimmered, classified assets hidden even from most of Earth command. Ghost Fleet, 12 stealth dreadnoughts. Quantum displacement engines, disruption torpedoes designed to fold space inside a ship's hull, and not a single alien sensor could detect them. Admiral Song saw the coordinates and stiffened. "No, that fleet is untested, hypothetical. We cannot risk—" "We don't have time to debate." Elias keyed in an authorization sequence. The war room lights dimmed. The room listened to a calm, artificial voice. "Project Black Comet, activation requested. Confirm?" Song grabbed Elias's arm. "If you use them without Council clearance, it's treason." "If I don't use them," Elias countered, "we won't have a Council to worry about." Rhea stepped into his line of sight. "Elias, millions could die." "The wrong move. No move guarantees extinction." Her lips parted, but no words came out. He entered the final code. Black Comet activation confirmed. Somewhere beyond the Kuiper Belt, 12 ships woke from silence. Elias straightened. "I need real-time fleet trajectories," a nervous officer asked. "Are we attacking them?" "No." Elias pointed toward the Council fleet's rear flank. its blind side. We're bypassing them entirely, Song blinked. You're sending our stealth fleet into Council territory? Yes. That's insane. No, Elias said. It's human. The room focused as Ghost Fleet updated its jump countdown. T-minus 300 seconds. Rhea watched the timer tick down, arms crossed tightly. You planned this, she whispered. Before the ultimatum. Before the broadcast. Elias didn't deny it. War isn't about firepower. It's about timing. He leaned closer, voice low. They gave us hours. We'll end this in minutes. Civilians around the world watched the holo broadcast on building walls and sky billboards. 6 hours until extinction, people cried. Some prayed. Others clutched their children. Inside Geneva Orbital Command, Elias Ward remained steady. Ghost Fleet entered jump alignment. Admiral Song folded his arms. If they detect us, they won't. The comms officer turned. Fleet requests final orders. Elias exhaled slowly. He thought of his mother in Karachi, of the crowded cafe where he studied tactics as a teenager, convinced humans would never face a war like this. He thought of what Vorek said. You are unstable. Maybe. You are unpredictable. Definitely. He pressed the transmit key. Ghost Fleet, this is Commander Ward. Jump to coordinates Theta Prime. Do not engage unless fired upon. Confirm arrival silently. Acknowledged, came the reply. Jumping on your mark, Rhea touched his sleeve. Elias, once this starts... It already started. He didn't realize until then how tight his chest felt, like an anchor pressing against his ribs. Fear wasn't foreign to him. He just moved anyway. Ghost Fleet engines ignited. T-minus 3 seconds. Rhea whispered, Elias, please be right. He turned to her. I don't have to be right. I just have to be faster than them. Jump the... Icons blinked off the map. No. Sound, no light, just absence. The Galaxy Council had no idea Ghost was already behind them. Elias faced the command. Center. Prepare defensive grid. Hold fire until my signal. Admiral Song stared at the empty space where the icons had vanished. If this fails... Elias nodded. Then they'll never find the bodies. No one spoke after that, because for the first time since the ultimatum, the humans weren't reacting. They were acting, and the galaxy had no idea what was coming. The countdown on the tactical display glowed like a heartbeat, steady, merciless. Geneva Orbital Command vibrated from acceleration bursts as defense platforms repositioned. Engineers rushed past Elias Ward carrying cables and power modules. Every surface reflected the same chilling truth. The Council fleet was advancing. Elias stood at the central console, hands clasped behind his back. Dr. Rhea Kessler hovered beside him, tablet in hand. Jaw tense, a new alert pinged. Commander, a technician said. Mars relay station just lost contact. Elias leaned over the holographic map. The Mars supply station icon flickered, dimmed, then vanished. Rhea covered her mouth. They destroyed it! Admiral Song strode in, uniform crisp despite the chaos. They're demonstrating capability. Testing our response. No, Elias said. They're provoking panic. Song pointed to the display. Panic or not, we need to return fire. Railgun constellation is ready. Not yet. You launched Ghost Fleet. We can't sit on our hands while they burn territory. Elias rotated the hologram. We need them overconfident. Let them believe we're immobilized by fear. Song paced, shoulders hard. Ghost Fleet is 12 ships. The Council sent 700. Rhea spoke before Elias could. Those ships aren't meant to win a frontal battle. They're designed to cut the head off the snake. Song studied Elias. You'd gamble Earth on a decapitation strike? Yes, Elias said. Because we don't survive a siege. The feed shifted. Grainy footage from a civilian shuttle orbiting Mars. A white flash. Nothing remained where the station once stood. The control room went silent. Rhea felt the temperature drop in her chest. Thousands worked there. No casualties, Elias replied. The rotation was on hold for maintenance. They destroyed metal, not people. Rhea exhaled, relief mixing with fury. They want us emotional. And we will not give them what they expect, Elias said. A fresh ping, Ghost Fleet. Status update, in transit. No detection. Song leaned in. So they haven't seen our fleet? No sensor in the galaxy can track a quantum displacement drive, Elias said. They can't react to what they can't see. Rhea studied Elias, voice low. You planned all this. Not because you wanted war, but because you knew someday someone would force it. Elias didn't answer, because she was right. The orbital hum faltered. Then, a harsh alarm tore through the command center. Red alert, incoming. Transmission Vorex appeared again, projected larger than life. His posture radiated contempt. Humanity clings to pride, predictable, irrational. He gestured, claws clicking against his armor. Watch. The holo changed. Earth's outer lunar mining outpost, a small dome on the surface of a metallic asteroid. Council fighters swarmed. A bright explosion swallowed the facility. Rhea stepped forward. Stop this! There were families stationed there! Vorex tilted his head. Collateral. You were warned. Elias gripped the railing until his knuckles whitened. Why offer surrender if you plan to attack anyway? The alien regarded him as one might regard an insect. Because the galaxy needed to see you reject mercy. Elias kept his voice level. This isn't about humans. This is about fear. You've been terrified of us since the moment we accelerated beyond your predictions. Vorex's eyes narrowed. You innovate faster than we approve. You adapt without permission. Disorder spreads from you like contagion, so your solution is extermination? Correction. A cold smile. Sanitization. The hologram cut out. Song stared at Elias. We retaliate now. Elias answered quietly. No. Rhea turned to him. How much longer can we wait? Until Ghost Fleet reaches Theta Prime. The command deck lights flickered. Static washed over the displays. The systems director shouted from her station. Massive jamming field detected. Council warships are targeting our communications net. Rhea leaned over her tablet. If they disrupt our link to Ghost Fleet, Elias finished her thought. Then those ships are blind. The floor shook slightly. Then harder. A technician yelled, Kinetic bombardment detected! Outer shield absorbing! White streaks appeared on the holo. Council weapons fire brushed against Earth's defense grid. Elias turned to Song. Activate Sol Shield full power. Done, Song replied. Fingers flying across controls, a shimmering gold barrier unfolded around Earth like a rising dawn. The bombardment slid off it harmlessly. A breath of relief passed through the room. Quick, fragile. Rhea placed a hand on Elias's arm. They're escalating. Your window is shrinking, he nodded. We hold Ghost. Fleet sent a ping. Status. Arrival imminent. Elias magnified the remote visual. 12 dark silhouettes emerging behind the Council armada near their home system. Song whistled under his breath. They don't even know we're there. A comms officer swallowed hard. Sir, they're powering FTL torpedo conduits. Rhea's voice barely rose above a whisper. We're really doing this. No, Elias corrected. We're preparing for what they force. He keyed the secure channel. Ghost Fleet, hold position. Do not fire, a calm voice answered. Standing by. Rhea stared at the Council fleet surrounded by human ghosts. Elias, what if they don't stop? They won't, he said. That's why we must. A new transmission request flashed across the hologram. From Earth. Elias accepted it. His mother appeared, sitting in her Karachi apartment, wrapped in a shawl. Behind her, neighbors watched the ultimatum broadcast on a shared screen. Elias, she said softly. Are we safe? He swallowed. We will be. She studied his eyes through the display, reading what he couldn't say. You always carried too much alone, she whispered. But protecting others is not weakness. The screen cut before he could answer, Council interference severing the call. Rhea touched his elbow. She believes in you. Belief didn't win wars. Timing did. The Council fleet shifted formation aggressively. Song braced himself. That's a strike posture. Rhea took a shaky breath. Elias, say something. He spoke without hesitation. Signal Ghost Fleet. The deck fell silent. Authorize Black Comet Phase 2. Officers stared. Phase 2. Sir, that's... Confirmation code Ward 0. The AI responded calmly. Authorization confirmed. Rhea locked eyes with him. This is the point of no return. Elias nodded once. They wanted to see what makes humans unpredictable. He turned to the display. Let's show them. Ghost Fleet dropped from displacement space like shadows returning to a room that believed it was empty. 12 dreadnoughts materialized behind the Galactic Council's main battle formation, utterly silent. No thruster flare, no sensor ripple, only the void shifting as if space had blinked. On Geneva Orbital Command, the tactical map zoomed in. The room leaned forward collectively. Rhea whispered, "They're inside the Council's blind sector." Elias didn't smile, but something in his eyes sharpened. Good. Ghost Fleet commanders checked in one by one. Calm voices, clipped responses, trained for precision. Ghost 01 ready. Ghost 02 ready. Ghost 03 locked. Admiral Song stood still, unable to mask awe. 12 ships. Against an empire. Not against, Elias corrected. Behind! On the Council flagship Verinox, confusion erupted. Sensor officers scrambled over controls. Admiral, gravitational inconsistencies detected. Probably debris. Debris doesn't change course. The alien admiral snapped, "Sweep again!" Before the sweep could finish, Ghost Fleet synchronized firing solutions. Human torpedo tech was unlike anything the Council used. Aliens relied on overwhelming kinetic firepower. Humans designed weapons that folded space inside the target, crushing the ship from within. Elias keyed into the channel. Ghost Fleet maintains silent running. Do not fire until my mark. Rhea grabbed his sleeve. The Council is minutes from launching planetary bombardment. What are you waiting for? Information, Elias murmured. They still believe we're afraid. That assumption is our weapon. On the Council flagship, High Chancellor Vorex was preparing his victory broadcast. He admired the live feed of Earth's defense shield, confident that soon it would collapse. A junior officer rushed in. Chancellor, the human defense grid expanded. They're reinforcing instead of evacuating, Vorex sneered. Typical stubbornness. Break the shield, the officer hesitated. Sir, should we confirm visual on our rear sector? Instruments, rear sector is statistically impossible to breach. Humans lack stealth technology. Exactly the mistake Elias counted on. Back on Geneva Orbital, the holographic countdown reached its final stage. 02:30, an officer called out, "Enemy weapons charging! Planetary bombardment in under 3 minutes!" Song clenched his jaw. "Commander, if we don't strike now, we strike," Elias said. "But we strike with certainty." He accessed the secure channel and transmitted 3 words. "Black Comet, mark." Space lit up without sound. Ghost Fleet fired 12 displacement torpedoes, pale shards of compressed gravity, into the Council rear formation. They pierced hulls without resistance, detonating inside. Ships imploded inward, collapsing like crushed cans. The Council armada didn't understand what happened. Their comm channel erupted. "Multiple catastrophics, casualties unknown. They're firing from within. How did humans get behind us?" A dreadnought vanished. Then another. Then 5 more. Ghost Fleet fired again. No hesitation. No emotion, Rhea watched, breath shallow. "They can't even defend themselves." "No," Elias said, "because nothing in their doctrine prepares for unpredictability." On the Council flagship, screens showed their backline dissolving. Vorex stared, unable to process. "That is not possible." A sensor officer finally screamed the unthinkable. "The humans are behind us!" Ghost Fleet readied another volley. Elias spoke into the mic. "Second volley. Disable command infrastructure only." The dreadnought crews obeyed. Torpedoes targeted communication arrays, propulsion cores, shielding nodes. Council ships staggered. Entire tactical systems went offline. For the first time in galactic history, the Council couldn't give an order. Admiral Song exhaled a low, stunned laugh. "In all my years, I never imagined humans would be the ghosts in the dark." Rhea watched Elias carefully. "You're not celebrating." "This isn't victory," he said quietly. This is leverage. The Council dropped all pretense of control. Vorex's voice cracked through the channel. Human Commander, state your terms. Rhea blinked. They're asking for terms? That fast? That's the point, Elias said. We don't need to destroy them. We need them to understand we can. Song crossed his arms. Make them surrender. Not yet. Elias broadcast a single transmission, fleet-wide, no encryption. This is Commander Elias Ward of Earth. Your fleet is disabled. We have no interest in extermination. Withdraw or we finish what we started. The channel returned static. Then, we acknowledge. The Council flagship powered down. The rest of the armada followed. Like dominoes falling in vacuum. Rhea stared at Elias, equal parts admiration and unease. You ended a war without killing the whole fleet. No, he said. I ended the belief that they could win. The countdown on the command display hit 0 Jiao. There was no bombardment. Earth's cities remained intact. The shields held. No reinforcements warped in. No final assault. The war never reached the surface. 6 minutes. That was all it took. Ghost Fleet held position. Weapons hot, awaiting confirmation. Commander? The lead dreadnought whispered through comms. Final directives? Elias nodded toward Rhea. Dr. Kessler will speak. Her eyes widened. Me? You wanted diplomacy. This is your moment. She swallowed, nerves trembling under her ribs, but she leaned toward the mic. Galactic Council. Withdraw from Earth space and acknowledge human sovereignty. No tribute. No demands. No ultimatums. Her voice steadied. You wanted fear. What you found was resistance. Silence. Then, terms accepted. A collective breath filled the command center. The Council fleet began retreating. Wounded, silent, humiliated, Elias watched their icons shrink on the tactical map. Rhea turned to him. You could have destroyed them. Why hold back? Elias kept his gaze forward. Because humanity didn't win by being feared. He finally looked at her. We won by making them stop underestimating us. A soft chime signaled Ghost Fleet's recall. Admiral, Song rested a hand on Elias's shoulder. You rewrote warfare today. Elias shook his head. No, humanity did. Rhea stepped closer. Every alien empire is going to talk about this. Elias allowed himself a tired smile. Good. Let them talk. He faced the stars. Still glowing from the displacement detonations, stories spread faster than fleets. The Council fleet drifted away like a bruised storm cloud retreating from the horizon. Earth watched in stunned quiet. In Geneva Orbital Command, the war room lights shifted from blood-red alert to steady white. The sudden calm felt unreal, like waking from a nightmare you were sure would continue. Elias Ward stood at the panoramic viewport, staring at the shrinking blips of alien ships. His reflection looked older, jaw tight, sleepless eyes, shoulders bearing the weight of choices no one else could have made. Behind him, murmurs spread, relief, disbelief, adrenaline unraveling into exhaustion. A young officer approached, voice cautious. Sir, civilians are asking if it's over. Elias didn't turn. Tell them Earth is safe. The officer nodded and ran. Rhea Kessler joined him at the glass. The curve of Earth glowed below, oceans reflecting the first light of dawn. You ended a war without firing on their capital, she said. I didn't end a war. Elias's voice was low. I ended their certainty. Rhea watched him. You're allowed to feel relieved. He exhaled. Relief comes later, after consequences. Hours later, a communication request appeared from Galactic Council flagship. Request, diplomatic dialogue, treaty terms. Admiral Song crossed his arms. They lost. We shouldn't negotiate. We should dictate. Elias stepped toward the hollow. Dictation keeps enemies. Terms build allies, Rhea nodded. A future without retaliation starts here. Song grumbled but stepped back. The hologram blinked to life, revealing High Chancellor Vorex. His posture was rigid, tone strained, pride fractured by silence rather than violence. Human commander, state your conditions. Elias didn't posture. He didn't gloat. He spoke evenly. Earth will not be governed. We will not pay tribute. We will not be threatened again. Vorex's jaw tightened. And if the council refuses? Rhea leaned in just enough to be seen. Then Ghost Fleet remains positioned behind your border. Permanently. Vorex studied her, then Elias, searching for anger, ego, vengeance. He found none. He found something far worse. Conviction. After a long pause, Vorex bowed his head a fraction. We acknowledge humanity's sovereignty. A second voice, shaky, fearful, from somewhere off holo. We should learn from them. Their unpredictability is a strength. The transmission cut. Song blinked. Did we just become the galaxy's worst nightmare? Rhea smiled faintly. No, we became the warning they'll never forget. The Treaty of Silence was drafted within a day. Clause 1, Earth governs itself. Clause 2, no alien species may claim ownership of human technology or territory. Clause 3, humanity will not be provoked into war, but it will not hesitate to finish one. The Council signed, every representative placing their seal on the document with trembling hands. For the first time in history, humans weren't just a new member of the galaxy, they were a boundary. 3 days later, a ceremony took place aboard the Council's central diplomatic station, a towering hall of crystalline arches and floating banners. The galaxy's most powerful species gathered, careful to keep distance from the humans in the room. Elias stood beside Rhea, feeling 1,000 alien eyes tracking his every breath. His uniform was crisp, though his heart pounded against his ribs. Rhea leaned close. You look like you'd rather be anywhere else. I would, he confessed. Preferably somewhere without speeches, she grinned. You ended a war in 6 minutes. I think you can handle applause. When the announcement came, the chamber fell to absolute silence. Presenting the representative of Earth, Commander Elias Ward. He stepped up to the podium. Microdrone cameras hovered. Alien faces reflected expectation, fear, curiosity. Elias didn't give a speech about strength. Instead, he gave one about restraint. We didn't come here to prove we can win wars. We came here to prove we don't need to. Murmurs rippled through the delegates. Elias continued, voice strong. Humanity will not conquer. We will not dominate. But we will never again be underestimated. He scanned the hall, then looked directly at Vorex. Respect is earned, not demanded. Silence. Then applause. Hesitant at first, then spreading like a tide. Rhea exhaled softly. Song smirked and clapped once, sharp and proud. Across the hall, a small alien child tugged at her mother's sleeve. Are humans monsters? She whispered. The mother knelt beside her. No, they are the ones who stopped the monsters. Elias heard it. Something in his chest eased. After the ceremony, Rhea found Elias standing alone near a transparent window overlooking the station gardens, bioluminescent vines glowing under artificial starlight. You did it, she said. We did it. She shook her head. No. You made the call no one else could make. He seemed distant, lost in the enormity of what had happened. I wasn't sure I deserved to make it. Rhea stepped close, voice soft. You didn't choose war. You chose humanity. He finally looked at her. And what now? She smiled gently now. We learn how to live in a galaxy that fears us. Elias didn't respond immediately. Instead, he gazed out the window, watching a pair of alien ships depart in formation. They gave us 6 hours, he murmured. We ended the war in 6 minutes. Rhea nudged his shoulder. Not a bad first impression. He breathed out a rare laugh. No, he said. Not bad at all. Back on Earth, as Ghost Fleet returned to silent orbit and the world celebrated, news anchors tried to describe what humanity had done. They failed. History didn't need to explain it. History only needed 6 words. We stopped a war before it started, and in the quiet aftermath, as dawn broke over a planet that had just earned its future, a single truth settled into every human heart. They would never underestimate us again.